Oh man, this is absolutely heartbreaking. CM Punk is really missing WrestleMania. The dream of main eventing Mania is over. I was really hoping that these are just some fake news or the injury is not serious, but he's really going to miss WrestleMania. That was one of the biggest attractions of WrestleMania to me. There are a lot of people who bought WrestleMania tickets to see Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, but it's not like we can blame anyone. It's not one of these WWE scenarios where we can blame them. Oh, why would you put LA Knight in a chicken costume? That's not the best booking idea. The man got injured. And like I've said, we can't blame anyone. Well, maybe except for Drew McIntyre. He prayed for this apparently. The promo was absolutely amazing, raw, real, emotional. It felt like I was living this moment with CM Punk. Dude, I think most of us can relate. This is the worst news possible before WrestleMania. He even mentioned how he wanted to earn the opportunity at Elimination Chamber, which kinda confirms he was supposed to face Seth Rollins at WrestleMania in the main event. It was still going to happen. One big takeaway from this promo is that I think Punk even realized how much he wanted to main event WrestleMania and how much it means to the guy. I think it was a big realization for the dude. And also, what are we going to do with the World Championship match? Obviously, they teased Cody versus Seth Rollins, and people booed. Nobody wants that. I know it would be decent, and Seth Rollins actually made a few good points. The thing is, though, we need Cody beating Roman, finishing the story, and it's obviously going to happen unless The Rock now returns, so we get Roman versus Rock and Cody versus Rollins, which it's not the same. Another big takeaway is the relationship between Triple H and CM Punk. Seeing CM Punk doing a pedigree and Triple H reposting "Get well soon" CM Punk posts on Twitter. What is happening, right? Like, it's so crazy to see. But honestly, I'm just sad with this whole situation. There's also a big reminder how much I love this shit and how much stuff like this bums me out. It sucks. Not much to say. The scenario sucks. But I want to welcome you back to greatness of Raw, and let's talk about this pretty eventful episode of Monday Night Raw, I would say. So the show kicks off with Pat McAfee, who joined Michael Cole on commentary and is going to be a regular on Monday Night Raw. So this is great news. Unfortunately, Kevin Patrick got released. He was never that good on commentary, but still, I think he was pretty decent in backstage roles. So yeah, that's really unfortunate. I am happy to see Pat McAfee back though. This is one of the best commentary duos of all time. And then we got CM Punk. I saw this and I already knew what the hell is going to happen. CM Punk was emotional, and it was obvious that we ain't hearing good news, right? And this promo reminded me of some of the best CM Punk's work in AEW. It wasn't really a promo, it was just CM Punk being himself and telling you what the hell is going to happen right now. So he congratulated Cody, he said he absolutely deserved it, he doesn't want people to feel sorry for him, and announced he sustained an injury. It's not about what you deserve, it's about what you earned, and Cody earned his opportunity. And he hopes Cody is finishing his story. CM Punk hates to say it, but he feels unlucky. After an injury, he asked maybe he can make it, maybe he can still do it at the Elimination Chamber and earn the opportunity, but it's not gonna happen. WrestleMania is just not in the cards. And man, CM Punk looking at the WrestleMania sign, all sad, it hits you hard. And that line, man, he said his childhood dream of main eventing WrestleMania, well, maybe it's just not gonna happen. Come on, Punk. You're making me sadder. I was already sad about this shit. And then he told a very touching story that people should not feel sorry for him because he has a friend who's fighting cancer, and CM Punk started crying. And he was basically trying to say that there are real life issues and this is just, you know, a bunch of nothing compared to what's happening to other people. He talked about the whole best in the world thing and how he appreciates the support. Obviously, he's not a typical WWE superstar, but he appreciates the support from the audience. He said, "Have you guys seen me fight in the UFC?" And he talked about how he didn't do so well, but god damn it, he tried it and, you know, he chased his dream. Honestly, can't argue with that, right? But then CM Punk got all pumped up and he basically said there was always next year. You can see he's hurting, but at least there's that. He's not wrong. He said, "I'm gonna bust my ass," and gets interrupted by Drew McIntyre. So obviously, there's a tiny part of me that still hopes for that return before the WrestleMania, but it's not gonna happen. It is not gonna happen, and it's so fucking unfortunate, man. Like, holy shit. Well, anyway, Drew McIntyre, man, oh my god, this guy is getting so good on the microphone. He kind of sympathized with CM Punk because he had similar things happening to him, but then he said, I'm not a spiritual person, but I've prayed for this. Ooh. Nice. And he said, I'm going to live your dream again. Punk says, when I'm coming back, I'm coming for you. And then Drew McIntyre attacks injured CM Punk and then even targeted his injury, which is crazy. That is the rivalry we want to see now, right? And it kind of made me realize it's Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre is winning the championship at WrestleMania. It needs to happen. I even wanted to make a video about Drew McIntyre, how he's getting so freaking good, yet at the same time, he can't reach these highs because the roster is so big and we have Punk and we have all these things going on. Well, now, unfortunately, we don't have these things. It needs to be Drew McIntyre who, after so many losses, finally gets the title shot. We see Sami Zayn with the save, and we have a match set up. Drew McIntyre versus Sami Zayn in the main event of Raw. Man, this was good shit. You know, unfortunate, sad, heartbreaking. I still can't believe we ain't getting this match. Like, the biggest mark inside me is screaming right now, right? At the end of the day, I love this shit. So, yeah, it's sad, but I hope WWE can make the best out of this terrible situation, and Drew McIntyre probably needs to be the one who wins the championship at WrestleMania. I think that is a pretty decent replacement, payoff, whatever you want to call it. Then we saw DIY versus the Judgment Day for the WWE Tag Team Championships, which was a pretty decent match. Like I've said, I'm not the biggest fan of DIY's presentation. I think they need to be a bit more badass. What I mean by that, it works for Johnny, doesn't necessarily work for Tommaso Ciampa, in my opinion. I never saw him as this, I don't know what to call it. Like, he's way too happy to me. After a very good match, the Judgment Day retained the championships and called out R-Truth. And R-Truth is all happy, he doesn't blame them, and Damian Priest says, I'm not gonna attack you, just get inside. And Damian always got interrupted. R-Truth says, you're like a brother to me. Finn Balor is like that weird uncle that we still love. Tom and Nick, people start booing. And JD is like a stepson that nobody likes or something along those lines. Well, anyway, Damian says, Truth, I like you way too much, I think you're funny, so I'm not gonna do it. And of course, the Judgment Day attacked R-Truth. R-Truth is officially kicked out of the Judgment Day after 20 years of service. And we see The Miz, and of course, he got outnumbered. So now we know we are going to see the reunion of Awesome Truth, like the legit one, and maybe even a theme song and all that. Like, we kinda knew they're a tag team, but we didn't get that presentation. So I think that would be a pretty decent WrestleMania match, but maybe WWE are going for something a bit more serious when it comes to the Judgment Day's title defense. Then we saw Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, in which Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark won. So Chelsea and Piper is a decent tag team, but I believe Chelsea is so entertaining, she has something different going on that we need to use her in a different way. I think she earned something bigger. Then we see Cody Rhodes, who wanted to hear this again, so Samantha say it, of course, 2023 and 24 Royal Rumble winner Cody Rhodes, and he gets interrupted by Seth Rollins. So I like this promo because obviously we don't want to see this match again, it's all about Cody versus Roman, but Seth Rollins almost made you believe that this is a match you want to see, right? Seth Rollins took so many shots. For example, he talked about Roman Reigns, how Roman Reigns doesn't defend the championship, and that's the reason why this championship was created. And Cody, you should choose this championship at WrestleMania because the WWE title is a corporate Hulk Hogan Hollywood championship, and this is a workhorse title, blue collar championship, Dusty's championship. So Cody said, I wasn't ready for this, but I'm gonna think about it, and Seth Rollins is smiling. And Cody needs to make that decision ASAP, because at Elimination Chamber, we need to see a #1 contenders match, because I believe that was originally the plan. By the way, I really feel sorry for people who are going to Australia's pay-per-view, because CM Punk is not gonna be there, Roman is not gonna be there, Brock Lesnar is not gonna be there, you know, that whole shit happened. So, yeah, that's really, really unfortunate. Now, when it comes to this promo, good material, everything's fine, it's just that we know it ain't happening. If The Rock returns, maybe, but that would be such a waste, man. Like, Cody lost to Roman, he already beat Seth Rollins. The WWE, let's be honest right here, I love the big old championship, it looks a lot better, but It needs to be the WWE title. It needs to be Roman's record, most importantly. Then we saw Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed. So this is kind of a filler rivalry for Jey Uso. They've been talking shit for the past few weeks, and Jey Uso came out on top. He won the match. So I thought about it, and I was like, maybe another name that could win the championship at WrestleMania, but I think he's facing Jimmy. Andrade is officially a member of Monday Night Raw, and Nick Aldis is not very happy about that. He feels like Adam is cheating, so he got a call from Braun Breaker, so I guess he's on SmackDown. We saw Gunther versus Kofi Kingston for the Intercontinental Championship. Love to see it. Always love seeing Kofi Kingston in important singles matches, and the match absolutely delivered. Seems like WWE are putting more focus on the New Day, trying to make them into badasses, less about the cereal, more about the fists. But of course, as you can imagine, Gunther retains the championship, and after the match we got this big brawl between the Imperium and the New Day. So Brock is not gonna wrestle Gunther. Obviously, what's gonna happen then? I think what I would love to see is Gunther versus Sammy. I think this is a perfect underdog story, and it almost seems like after losing the tag team championship, Sammy hasn't been the same. So hopefully that is something that WWE are considering, because if not, Lesnar, who? The Kabuki Warriors won their tag team match, and it was time for Bayley. So Bayley was talking about her victory, how she lost so many matches, but none of it matters because she's looking at a bigger picture. She gets interrupted by Rhea Ripley because obviously in kayfabe she's choosing Rhea Ripley. The other champion is her teammate. Rhea gets attacked by Nia Jax, and Nia kinda threatens Bayley not to choose Rhea Ripley because Rhea is Nia's. So Bayley says, I'm gonna make my announcement on SmackDown, which made Io Sky kinda nervous and confused. Still, I hope we're going to get the answer to one question. Bayley was mad that Damage Control appeared in the Royal Rumble. In this segment, they didn't mention that. So what was the point? Like, come on. We need to talk about that on SmackDown, and that's the reason why she chose Io Sky. That should be the reason, and it seems like WWE didn't really focus on that. And finally, it was the main event, Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre. Awesome to see Sami Zayn back in the WWE. Pretty decent match. I think most of you will agree that it was kind of hard to watch the show because during the entire show you thought, what's gonna happen with the World Championship? Man, it sucks CM Punk got injured. So I believe it was on most of your minds during the entire show. But I really like this. I'm interested in what both men are going to do at WrestleMania. Wouldn't be surprised if it's going to be a triple threat match. But like I've said, an Intercontinental Championship for Sami sounds just fine to me. Drew McIntyre accidentally touched Sami's balls. I could word it a little bit better. He didn't touch him. He wasn't like, oh, Sami Zayn, you have very nice balls, Sami Zayn. Like me, Scottish, like the big ball. It wasn't like that. It was he was protecting himself and punched him, hit him in the balls. That's what happened. Claymore and Drew McIntyre wins the match. So Drew McIntyre is the Scottish psychopath again, and I absolutely love this. What about that Brock Lesnar voice crack? That was your Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre, I believe, is the replacement. And if that's the case, you're not gonna hear me complaining. Sucks that CM Punk cannot be at WrestleMania. So thank you for watching this video. Like, subscribe with notifications on. I appreciate your time. Love you so much. The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.